abandon your dreams. Hey guys.
Could you stop, please?
Welcome to Studio G in the building. We're gonna have a good conversation tonight, you guys. This is one of my wife's favorite songs. This is Uncle Reese. In case you don't know who Uncle Reese is. This is a great song. Here we go. Hold up. Oh, I thought it was going hard to pay. Sorry. If there's no other option. What's up, you guys, man? We hope you're good. Although it is a pretty, I'm talking over music.
Yeah, you want to turn it down? Happy Sabbath from India. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath from India. Shout out to India, yo. Live from the States, man. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to have a good conversation tonight. All right, hold on. Alexa, stop music. You guys, we appreciate you guys coming through, man. We have an interesting conversation tonight. It's pretty interesting, I would say. I do want to take one quick second. If you're watching the rebroadcast, let's just bear with us. I want to share this video real quick to just two simple places. So bear with me one quick second as I share this video to a couple of different places real quick. And go ahead and do us a favor and hit that like button for us, man. Go ahead. Wendy, happy Sabbath from Jamaica. Hey!
Happy Sabbath.
First, we got a viewer from India. Now we got some from Jamaica. Shout out to my homeland.
What?
The homeland, Jamaica. No, I'm just playing.
I
swear I got a little bit of West Indian in me, you guys. But
oh my God.
Unfortunately, it's all hope. I don't got nothing. I'm all American. Shout out to America, man. Much love to America. What's up? Good evening, Paul. How you doing, brother? Blessings to you. We have an interesting conversation tonight. I can tell you that. But first, I just want to quickly go ahead and share this video real quick to just a couple places. And I got Adana here with me, you guys. Where we at, babe? Where we at tonight?
We're in Studio G.
Studio G in the building. You guys, Studio G is where it's at, man. This is a place that God inspired me to start, where we can just come here and just talk about conversations, all kind of conversations, random conversations, just about whatever it is. It could be live or current events, or whatever God has on our heart. And tonight we're going to be talking about actually something that legitimately happened: child abducted from church. We're going to talk about human trafficking and really some of the scary tactics and things that traffickers are actually using to catch everybody, whether it's a child, female, or a boy, grown woman, whoever. These are some of the tactics that they're using. So we're going to talk about this tonight. But before we do, because it is a little bit of a heavy conversation and topic, I wanted to take a quick second to just have a little bit of fun. Just a little bit of fun with my wife, because she don't know what we're about to do.
Oh, gosh.
So real quick, you guys, let's just see. I got a little thing before we get into the heavy stuff, which we're gonna do. I got a quick little thing for my wife and I. We're gonna look at a couple funny Christian memes, just a couple of them, just to see if they actually
are
funny.
They actually funny?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Okay.
We're gonna find out if they're actually funny or not. All right. So let's just take a quick second and look at those joints real quick. Because I don't know if they funny. It's the first time I'm looking at them, you guys. So we're all gonna look together, and you guys let us know, please, in the comment section. Let us know: is these funny or are they corny?
Are these?
Is these?
No. Are these?
Is these?
No.
Is these?
No.
Is these corny?
No. Are these corny?
Why can't I talk how I am?
No.
Is these corny? That's how. Is these corny?
Please no.
Yes. Is these corny? That's how. Is it, yo? Is these, y'all?
It's R, Anthony.
Is these corny or are these corny? Okay.
It's plural, right?
Can I be myself?
Not is these. It's
Can I
is
be?
This?
Can I bees my seeds? Can I bees my seeds? CM says, I follow your wife on her YouTube channel. She inspires me through my pre-med journey. Go ahead.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching.
That's it.
That's
all you
really
got.
cool.
Thanks
for watching like here, and thanks for following me on YouTube as well. That's cool.
Yes. All right, you guys. Let's take a quick second to take a quick look at some of these memes real quick. Let's see if these is actually funny or not. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, here we go. First meme, you guys. First meme up. Let's see if it's actually funny. It says, let's see. Hold on. I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bike and asked God for forgiveness.
It's not funny, especially seeing this black boy.
Yeah, he do gotta be a brother. And on top of that, he looked like he's at a school where he might be the only black one.
Yeah, this one wasn't. This one didn't hit.
All right, sorry. Is that a winner or a loser? You guys, let us know in the comment section below. Meme one, winner or loser? Type in winner or loser. All right, W for winner, L for loser. Give us a W for winner, L for loser. All right, let's go to the next one. Go ahead, babe.
Technically, Moses was the first person with a tablet downloading data from the cloud. I get it. It's a little corny.
W or L? What you got, W or L? Throw it up.
I mean, is there like a midway?
No, it's a
like
W or
M?
L. I know it's hard to put an L on Moses, but dang it. It's not on Moses.
It's an L.
It's an L. Throw your L's up, y'all. It's an L for Adana. What y'all think? W or L? Let us know. All right, let's check this one out. Hold on. Good luck breeding those lions.
Because they're both males.
That's funny. All right. That's a W.
I don't know if it's like that much, but
you laugh. You can't say you can't laugh that hard and then not give it a W.
Really, it's just like
You can't laugh. No, you laugh. You said because I didn't even realize they're both males.
That's a horrible. I create coloring pages for powerful women.
Stop.
That's a horrible coloring page.
That's not part of the meme. That's an ad.
But that's a really bad one. Look at Michelle Obama in the black and white.
That's Michelle Obama?
That looks nothing like her. That's horrible.
That's a pretty rough
That's
one.
an L right there, too.
Leave the Michelle Obama coloring book alone. Freaking crap. All right, let's do two more. When
threatened, the Pope can spray holy venom up to 25 feet. Oh, because that's like the lizard, right?
Yeah,
like a Komodo dragon or something.
I can't laugh at the Pope in his cape, whatever that is. It's an L for me though, you guys. That's an L. Let's do one more. Last one. Brunswick family loses everything in fire except a Bible. You get it?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get that, you guys. What does that mean?
What's the funny meme?
I don't know.
What's the funny part of it? I'm so confused. Maybe because it's half burnt. Wow. All right. That was you guys. Sorry, I wasted 5 minutes of your night, you guys. Sorry, we'll go ahead. That whole segment was an L, you guys. That whole segment was a freaking L. All right, let's get to the real stuff. The whole segment was a freaking L. L. Yes, I absolutely agree. Shima gave a W for one of them. Which one was that? Probably the one we gave a W to. Which one did I give a W to? I forgot which one. It was the lion, maybe. The lion. All right. Anyway, you guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get in this conversation. Joselle said happy Sabbath from Trinidad and Tobago. TNT. She said TTTT. TTTTT. Happy Sabbath, Joselle. Forgive me if I said your name wrong. I apologize. All right, you guys, let's have a real conversation, you guys. So we're here tonight to talk to you guys about something that is actually serious for us, obviously, because we are a home that has two children, two little girls, and one is 10, one is 5. And of course, I have a wife. And, the idea of abduction, child abduction, human trafficking is real. You guys, I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if I read it or just saw it, but I read or saw or I learned that the number one highest grossing organized crime The number one highest grossing organized crime is human trafficking. Out of all crimes, more than weapons, more than drugs, more than any other organized crime, human trafficking is the number one highest grossing. Why? Because now it's not to say that people are trafficked more than drugs or brought into the country or something like that. It's just simply to say that there's more money involved in human trafficking than there is in anything else. So it produces the most income. It's probably $1 billion industry or more. So with that being said, you guys, this is real out here. It's not a joke. It's real. It's been going on forever, like forever. And so we're gonna look at some things tonight, you guys. We're actually gonna show you guys some videos of actual of attempted abductions and actual abductions and kidnappings, so that we can look at those videos and that we can learn from those videos and that we can see some of the tips and tricks on how you yourself can go back to your spouses, your children, or even just for yourself and figure out how you can be able to protect yourself from human trafficking. So we're going to look at some of those videos. I'm also going to share with you guys something that I saw. It's an article that talks about some scary tactics human traffickers use to lure in and their victims. And these are things you guys need to know. This is an important conversation. Me and my wife kind of talked about the idea of, does this have any sort of, or how can we, kind of make sure that this is a godly conversation? But at the end of the day, you guys protecting yourselves, you guys protecting your families, you guys looking after your own selves and children, that's a godly conversation. And unfortunately, I would really hope and encourage other churches to be able to have conversations like this within your churches. Not just, it doesn't always have to be about, all right, grab your Bible, turn to Malachi chapter 4, verse 9. Malachi or Amos chapter 1, verse 2. Like, it doesn't always have to be that way, you guys. Yes, that has to be that way. But sometimes you just need to sit people down and tell them about how to protect themselves, how to be smart, and how it's very, very imperative, because this is a God thing. God wants us to be safe. God wants you to protect your family and protect yourself. So let's have this conversation and let's actually show some things. I do want to show you guys this. There's actually a movie too. It's coming out. It's called Don't Say My Name. It's not my movie. I'm not part of it at all in any way. But it is a film that I just wanted to shout out real quick because it does have to do with human trafficking. So you guys be sure to check out this particular film when you get a chance. I'll even show you right here. This is it. So you guys make sure you take a look at this. This is the actual movie, don'tsaymyname.com. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know much about it, but it's a faith-based movie about human trafficking. So you guys can check out the trailer and teaser and stuff there. Just wanted to shout them out, you guys. So be sure to check them out when you get a chance, because it is our job to share the word of God and God's people stuff. All right, you guys, let's do this. Let's take a look at this. The first thing we're going to do is I'm talking a lot. Did you want to say something? Because I always be saying stuff and then you don't be like, you be getting mad at me sometimes.
About what?
You don't let me talk.
That's
you don't
inaccurate.
let me. You always.
That's such a
you always
fallacy.
say. You always say. You always be saying everything.
That's very false.
Stop.
I
That
don't
is
say
not
that at
false.
all.
You said that. It's on the tape. We got all the videos.
Well,
we've ever done.
we'll rewind the tape. We sound like
You say that.
Well, like Biden and Trump last night. Put it on the website. Go check it. We'll look at the video. No. Okay. We'll look that one up.
Look at the tape. Freaking crap. You guys, let's look at this video, you guys. We're going to take a look. This is and I'm going to walk you guys through this because I want you guys to check this out when you get a chance too. So let's pull this up on the screen. 1 second. Bam, bitty dip. All right, y'all. So here it is. This right here is Active Self-Protection. It's a website. Right now, this is a couple videos. And we want you guys to see some of these so that you can get a feel of some of these things that actually happen. All right, so we're gonna start here.
Today's
family video is every parent's nightmare.
Atlanta family escapes
children from being taken.
All right, hold on. Let's zoom in.
Was from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. Many thanks to MagTech Ammunition, the sponsor of today's active rifles or pistols at the range. 5 a.m. at one of the busiest airports in the country, and you see this woman right here is just standing around and waiting and not going anywhere. Now, it's not uncommon for somebody to just be kind of loitering in an airport as they wait for a flight, but she's kind of loitering out in the middle of everything. And I've just kind of sped it up for the sake of time. And what's going to go down here? You see this young family coming up. I'm sorry, this was filmed on a potato. That wasn't me that did that. It's just poor video quality. And she sees this woman with 2 small children and grabs a hold of her stroller and starts to kind of hold on to that and try to grab that baby. And this woman, you go watch the news story, it's got an actual interview with this woman. She says, let go. Well, her husband, this young family is on their way to Disney World down in...
Is that
the husband?
Just looking?
And she's trying to get a hold of the stroller.
Oh, look at he left that.
He's going to finally come over. And
He left that
put
one?
the other child in the stroller a little ways away. Now they're going to
What
keep
is she
the stroller from this woman. Now, in that case, she grabs their toddler while
What?
the bystander comes over to try to help her and keep her from doing that. Now, mom and dad are both significantly engaged, and the ruckus starts. Hey, don't take my baby. Don't take my
What
baby.
is
Now, a
happening?
transit officer here. That's not a cop. That's a transit officer.
And then she runs.
Basically, a
Catch it.
non-sworn.
What is?
Going to get on her radio and get
What
this
in
on
the
real.
world?
We're going to see here, as I've sped it up simply for the sake of time, is a bunch of cops have tackled this woman who I think was in her 20s and was trying to steal this child. And I've not really been able to find in the news
That's a
what
big
her motivation was or why she
20-year-old
thought she
woman.
was going to get away from that. But it's going to take officers a significant amount of time and effort working together to get her into custody. Neither of the children were hurt. This family was able to continue on,
Praise God.
go on their vacation. But wow, what a significant thing here. And probably
That
every
was just
parent's
so
worst
weird.
nightmare. Thankfully, no one was harmed, and that is where this one ends.
Oh my gosh. All right. So first one up, you guys. That's the first one up. Let's talk about that, you guys, real quick. Let's talk about that one.
That was
What
so
in the
weird.
world?
That was really weird. Everything that happened, like
first of all, why was the
husband
guy even allowed? I kind of
standing there.
get why he was like, maybe he was at first he was just looking from a distance, right? He probably didn't really understand what was going on. Obviously, he was
I got that, but then when you do understand what's going on, you don't leave the other baby to go. Like, you drag that baby along in the stroller. Like, why would you leave the other one unattended? What if she had like accomplices?
You're right.
You know,
He
and they
definitely
could have
should have
came
done that.
and like took that one, and it would have been a problem.
Now, would he have been wrong? That grown man, would he have been wrong for punching that
Punching her
woman
in
in
the
the face? Like
No,
punching her in the face, knocking her out, put her on the ground. Would he have been wrong for that?
no, he would not have.
100%. No, he would not have been wrong for
He
that.
should have punched her in the face.
He should
I'm surprised that blows weren't thrown. Like, I don't understand why like they were just like playing tug of
tussle
war.
and stuff. Well, look, you guys. So that particular video right there, you guys. That particular video right there, actually, hold on. So Wendy said, "Wow, she was so bold."
Yes, she was.
That's what I want to talk about, Wendy. So this is important, you guys. Clearly, you can see. Sorry about that. Clearly, you can see that people these days don't care.
Yeah,
People-
but I mean, we don't know the full extent of everything. Like, it might not necessarily have just been like she didn't care. She could have just been seriously mentally unstable, and that's what made her bold as well. Like, because crazy people do like really stupid things, and so I don't know if it was just like she didn't care, or if she didn't care because she was just not.
Either way, it doesn't matter why she didn't care.
She didn't.
She ain't
You're
care.
right, you're
And
right.
that's the whole point, you guys out there. Like, you guys, you can literally be walking, woman, you can literally be walking with your husband, right? In a public space, completely public, with people all around, with your family, and someone can walk up to you and try to take your child. Not just anyone, that was a female.
I know.
That wasn't even a
I thought
dude.
she was just crazy.
And
I
where
thought
were
it
they
was just-
go? Where was she gonna go?
I mean, she was gonna run out the airport.
There's too many people.
Would you? I mean,
She was
not
so-
necessarily- It took a minute for people to even like try to get engaged.
Nobody
so who
really
knows?
understood what was
Yeah.
happening.
Oh my gosh,
that was weird
It
as
was
crap.
so weird.
But that goes to show for you guys. You have to understand that goes to show there is no safe place per se. You know what I'm saying? Like you always have to make sure that you are cautious and that you keep your guard up and you keep your eyes peeled always, because you just never know. When he said no, she should have punched her one. Yes. All right, let's look at another one, you guys. Let's get back to this and look at another one. Hold on one second. We're gonna look at a few of these, you guys, because we want us all to be aware. All right. Number 2. This is a real one here too.
Whether you step into a third-party encounter is a very personal decision and also depends upon who you are and your skill set. Welcome to today's active self-protection lesson. I'm your host,
Is this audio?
Today's video comes to us from Los Angeles, California. I want to tell you, and this one is serious. It's not visually graphic at all, but the audio on this one is incredibly haunting. So if you have a trigger about violence with women, please skip this one over. And if you're listening on your mobile device, make sure that you're using your headphones and be respectful of the people around you, because this one can really set some folks.
And we wanted to say to you guys, listen to whatever you said, and if this applies to you,
if it's
this
triggering,
is your moment. Just take a second, come back, step off, and then come back. If it's gonna be all right, then watch it. Here we go.
Off. I think it's an important lesson, but I want to warn you about it. Whether you need a quality appendix, that's what wakes the woman up that we are going to see. That's what wakes the woman up that we are going to see. Last warning, friends, this one is not visually graphic at all, but it is haunting on an emotional level audio. So make sure your audio is set correctly, and let's go. As far as I know, police are still looking for the suspect here. Scary stuff out of this one. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the woman in this particular video who came out her front door and whose Ring doorbell recorded this. I want to ask you, if you were in her shoes, not with your skill set, but with her likely skill set, would you have stepped in? Let me know in a comment in the description. I know what I would do as me, but as her, I think it's a very difficult one to call because of the danger to her. But let's talk about it in the lessons. As far as what this news incident is, police are saying it could be a domestic, it could be a kidnapping. They haven't found either the victim or the perpetrator here. They're not sure what's going on because the kidnapping victim hasn't shown up in any of their other files. So we're not positive what that is, but what we are positive of is what we've heard. And we hear this woman.
All right, we'll stop that one there, you guys, and we'll come back. We'll do another one. All right, you guys. So from that one right there, you guys, this woman, let's recap that. There's a woman from the recam, the woman that was there. She stepped out. She heard these screams. The guy asked us, what would you do? And I guess he asked you specifically, what would you do if you was that woman? And then I would even throw in, what would you do if it was just you, who you are? Because you have to understand that you're stepping into a situation. You hear this woman screaming. That was haunting. Like, she was screaming for her life. She was screaming for her life. She was pulled off. That car that you saw driving off, that was her being driven off in that car, screaming for her life. What would you do? Do you step into a situation like that, not knowing what's going on, not knowing this person may have a weapon or a gun, or maybe you have multiple people with them, or whatever the case is? Do you not care? Do you step in? Do you do something? If so, what do you do? What would you do?
I have no idea. I don't know what I would do. Call the police. Like, first off, it didn't even look like you're just stepping out of the house. You have no idea like what's going on. Like, I don't know what the lady could see down the road, if she could see the car or not. So maybe that might put some things into perspective. Maybe you could like try to drive your car out there if you're feeling like helpful. I don't know. But for me, just looking at her point of view from the Ring, it's like you're still trying to figure out where this noise is coming from. Like, is this, somebody playing, or is this actually somebody like screaming for their lives? Like, what's going on?
But you could tell, I mean, I hear you, but for that particular one, you could tell that was not a joke, right? Like, you could tell that was not a joke. That you could tell that one was not a joke. Lesson learned from that video, you guys. Outside of just thinking about what would you do in this situation, lesson learned is it doesn't matter how much you scream. It doesn't matter how much you scream. Someone may not always be there to protect you. Someone may not be there to save your life. And there may be people around who just won't do anything. That's why it's imperative, you guys. It is imperative. Woman, listen, it's imperative. You develop some sort of defensive training for yourself, and figure out what would you do in a situation like that, because you won't always have help. Even if you're around other people and you scream for your life, people may not be able to come to the rescue, or at least they may not be able to come to the rescue on time. And literally, this woman was carried off in a car. Very, very, very much so in a car. Chima said it could be a diversion. It could be a setup, or it could be real. The situation is very tricky.
Yeah, trying to source that out.
That's true. That's true. I got to be honest, though. Like, for me, like, I got to be honest. I probably would have went out there. Honestly, I would have went out there. I don't know exactly what I would have did, but sometimes just the presence of somebody does something. I've done that before. I mean, I've done stuff that my mom says is stupid.
She did.
Like
she sure did.
Like I engage myself into third party situations probably when I shouldn't. And sometimes I'm part of it. So,
sometimes you're the second party.
Sometimes I'm the person involved being the person. But that's just me, you guys, and that's not everybody. And I'm not. And the thing is with me is I don't always think like, and that's probably a bad thing. Like I don't always think what might happen to me. Like, am I about to die?
I don't always think.
I don't. And you know that. Like I don't always think. I remember one time me and my wife was in a movie theater. And we were watching a movie.
Oh my gosh.
And then we was in a movie, and somebody ran into the movie that we were in while the movie's going on. Someone took stuff and threw it in the movie, just threw it, and was like, and laughed and stuff and ran off.
And this fool.
I got so mad. I jumped up. I ran out the movie theater. I had no idea who these people were, what they were. I ran out, and I bust the door open like freaking Action Jackson. I said, "Pow! Ah!" And they were running down this stairwell, and I was yelling at them. I was cussing, you guys. I was cussing. I'm sorry, but I was mad, and because I'm with my family, and there's so something in there that could have hit us. We don't know what that was. Somebody could have got hurt. I don't think sometimes, you guys, and it's stupid of me. But in that situation, if that woman was screaming for her life, me personally, I would have went out there. I don't know what would have happened. I would have done something. But that's not everybody, and that's not what everybody should do. You know, it's all dependent on the situation at hand. So that's a lesson you learn, you guys. In that particular video, your screams don't always help. All right, let's look at another video, and let's look at another
and lesson learned for Ant to think. Okay, think.
Look, I
think before you act.
It is. I do need to think, you guys. Forgive me. It is stupid. I need to think better. But let's look at another video lesson, you guys. This is important for us, okay? All right, hold up. All right, next one. Whew, here we go. All right. We gotta mute you guys. Don't look, you guys. This is Sabbath. Don't look, you guys.
Important parts of spiritual fitness that we talk about. One of the most important parts.
All right, hold on. I don't. So let me just say this, you guys, real quick. First of all, what's happening? It's not even, the screen isn't shared. Is the screen shared? I don't think it is. Hold on. I thought the screen was being shared. 1 second, you guys. There we go. All right, now it's being shared. You guys, really, really fast. So I don't know. I may have to skip this one because I'm not sure. When he talks about spiritual fitness, that usually means somebody died. And I don't know if I necessarily think we need to show that, but I don't think so. It doesn't say that. Kidnapping multiple attackers caught on camera. All right, so we're just going to do this. We're going to play it. If somebody's dying or something, I'll stop it, but I don't think it is. Here we go.
One of the most important parts of spiritual fitness that we talk about at Active Self-Protection is knowing when you have to fight with everything you have to defend your life. Hi, everyone. This is John with today's Active Self-Protection lesson. Today's lesson comes to us from Venezuela, and it shows a carjacking that turns into a kidnapping. Shows us some very important lessons here about the bystander effect, and also about when it's time not to give it up, but to fight with everything you have not to be taken to a second location. This lady is just loading groceries into her car, and I've sped this up just to get us some context, but you can see her unlocking the car and starting to get everything in there, and she's got some help. We saw the guy in the purple shirt come, and now we're going to slow down as the guy in the blue shirt comes around the other side. And as he does, he is going to accost this woman and grab a hold of her, and she's going to start resisting him. Now, unfortunately for us, it goes off screen for just a second. And what I want you to see here is how fast these things go. What do these guys want? Well,
multiple people.
Now we have at least two, now three guys who have a hold of her. And are they trying to steal her car? Well, here you see they pick her up and put her in the car and throw her inside. Guy in the blue shirt gets in the back. Guy in the purple shirt is going to get in the front with the other guy who got in the driver's side. And now they are going to pull out, and they have stolen this woman's car.
And look, there's someone watching right there.
Let's go back and learn a few
People
lessons
around
out of this one. And we're going to start where the guy comes around the other side. We talk about awareness. We talk about threat assessment. But know that the bad guys are going to launch their attack from ambush. And they do that by coming from multiple locations and multiple angles many times. And they use distraction. She's loading her car. Now he grabs a hold of her, and she's going to start resisting. Now, listen, when it comes time to resist, if they just want your stuff or whatever, man, give them the stuff and get the heck out of there. But when they want your person, now things have got to change. What they recognize here is when they open the door,
do
they're
you
going to
see
try to
that?
put her in the car. Now, I'm just going to tell you, my policy is if you're going to try to kidnap me, you got to kill me right here. So if they're trying to move you, never go to a second location. Fight to the death right where you are, because nothing good is going to happen in a second location. But this lady doesn't. I mean, I understand, you freeze in that moment. And then off they go. Now, I do want you to notice here, if you go back and you look at the timing, that 24 seconds from the time that the guy first accosted the woman until they are out of there, and nobody saw anything and nobody reacted.
Nobody saw anything.
No, there's somebody right in the corner.
Yourself and never let them take you to a second location. Instead, fight where you are and cover your ass.
So listen, you guys. Hold on.
And so the guy that was helping her load was part of the.
That's what I'm saying. Look,
the crew.
Look, you guys. I don't know if you guys see this. The person who's actually helping her, right? Watch the guy who's helping her. Watch the guy who's helping her.
Come. And now we're gonna slow down as the guy.
I'll mute it. Watch. So there's a guy right here, you guys, that's helping her, right? This guy watches things. Look, he looks. It almost looks like he's does a shell shock, but he just leaves. He's not with them. It's like he leaves. He grabs that cart and he goes. He walks away.
And look at this guy.
Yeah,
here,
he
walking up in the corner.
He can see this guy up here. He can see everything.
And then he goes and hides behind the car. Look at him.
There's cars driving by, but look, he's right back here. This guy's back here. People
is he on the phone right now?
He's
on the phone.
Might be calling
He's
people.
on the phone.
People can. You guys. Lesson. Another lesson. You guys. Another lesson learned. Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this one real quick. So look. First of all, in that situation right there, I can't. How many times do you go to a grocery store and you go to your trunk and you put stuff in your trunk?
I mean, all the time.
All the time.
For the most part, either the trunk or like the passenger seat or something. But yeah,
this right here is a clear example. And again, ladies, please pay attention to what the freak is happening. Anything can happen at any time, anywhere. This guy is clearly, this woman is clearly in a public space. There's cars. She's on the edge of a street where there's cars going by left and right. There's clearly people walking by. And she's with someone who's putting groceries in her car that, to my vision, doesn't seem to be part of what was hapappening.
I mean, he doesn't seem to be, but he has to, for him not to do anything.
He could have been a punk. You know what I'm saying? Like or it could have just been like, what can he do? Like,
I mean, he could try to help.
In that situation, the point I'm making is, you guys, there was people around this woman, and she clearly took these men, multiple attackers too, you guys. And that's what makes it even more tricky when there's multiple attackers. If it's one person, it may not be as bad. But the guy, the host of this show, he said something very important that I wanted to repeat for everybody, every person. He said, never be taken to a second location. If you are being kidnapped, or if someone's trying to, let's say someone's trying to take your car. Well, if they're trying to take your car, let them take your car. But if they're trying to take you, he said, fight for your life and never be taken to a second location, because nothing positive ever comes from being taken to a second location. Ever. Never. You will be raped. You will be trafficked. You will be killed. You will be whatever they want to happen. So never do it. He said, "Oh, you're just going to have to kill me because I'm not going with you anywhere." They're never going to take you and then pleasantly drop you off safely at another place. So you fight for your life. What would you do in that situation if you was that woman?
I mean, fight. I don't know. Use everything that I have, but you yell for help and you fight and you try your hardest. You use everything, your legs, your whatever. Try to kick the door closed. Whatever you can. If you don't have a weapon on you, you have to fight.
And you guys, and we're actually going to talk about too. We're going to talk about a weapon. But you guys, I want to say this. That's back to the one point I said before, ladies, it is very important that, especially, I'm saying this to my wife too, because dang it, we just haven't done it. And I think we need to really seriously do it. But serious lesson is, ladies, you need to make sure that you have some sort of defensive training in your arsenal. You need to take some classes, legitimate classes, not freaking aerobic kickboxing and crap. Like, no, you need to take self-defense courses taught by police officers or former military, whatever the case is, to know how to defend yourself. Because if you are at least in a position where you know how to defend yourself, you're giving yourself a chance, because this happens. We're watching, I'm showing you guys these videos so that you can see that this happens. This isn't a joke. This happens right now as we're speaking. Someone is being kidnapped. As I'm speaking, someone is being trafficked. As I'm speaking, someone is being pulled into a car or a hotel room or out of their house as I'm speaking. You guys have to know how to defend yourself. That's why we're watching this, so that you can see that it exists. And so that, number two, you can learn lessons on how to protect yourself. Let's go to our next one. We have two more after this. I mean, two more, this one and the next one. So let's go to the next one, you guys. Two more quick videos. 1 second. And then after this, we're going to talk about some of the tactics that traffickers actually use to kidnap people and traffic people. So hold on 1 sec. All right, next video. Let's go. That's an attempted one. 13-year-old girl refuses to be kidnapped. That's a good one.
That sounds good.
What, the 13-year-old refuses to be kidnapped?
Let's see how she.
All right, here we go.
Parents to teach their children that they can fight to protect themselves. I'm John. It's a fantastic upgrade and I recommend it highly. As this one begins, it's a 13-year-old kid who is at the bottom left, and this guy who she has never met before has followed her home from school. And as she approaches the house, he is going to jump her. Has not said a word to her. She doesn't know who he is. But you can see now he grabs a hold of her and she's going to defend herself against him. And he tries to choke her and he tries to cover her mouth. Of course, all the news outlets, and This Is Right, have covered over the portion with her in it because she's a minor. You know how that stuff goes. But she fights this guy hard and actually fights him off. And as she does here, you can see him come head to the front yard. She starts banging on the door to the house that she lives in, and apparently her older brother was home, and that's who this is. Not her dad, but her older brother, who sees the guy and is going
He's
to
still there?
him. Dude ended up running off. And about 24 hours.
Destroy him!
What?
Destroy him! Destroy him! Oh my gosh!
Got a lot of kudos for fighting this guy off, and rightly so. Let's think about lessons.
He just let him walk away?
Leads me to a question out of today's video.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Whoa, okay. So first of all, let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to acknowledge.
You're destroying him.
No.
Me right now.
That's what I'm saying. You saw how big. Hold on, we'll get back to that.
I wish you guys could have seen Ant. He was like, destroy.
First of all, they could. First of all, listen, you guys. Let's first acknowledge that 13-year-old freaking champion of a female who fought off that guy. You guys, she had a fight. She did not. She refused to be taken. She refused to be taken. That is the lesson learned from this video that we're watching here just now. She's 13. There's a grown man trying to take her, and she refused. She fought. I don't know if she screamed or anything like that, but she fought. Mercy. She's the real MVP in this daggone video. Because unfortunately not everybody does that. Not every 13-year-old girl would have done that. They would have succumbed. They would have went in instead of fought back. And we have to teach our children, our young girls. We have 2 young girls. We have to teach them not to clam up like that. We have to teach them to be fighters in situations like that. Literally, it's okay. It's okay to fight back. We always teach our kids, no fighting, no fighting, no fighting, but we don't take the necessary time to legitimately teach when there is a time to fight. There is a time to fight. There is a time to fight back. And that's a message that we have to teach, because a lot of girls will clam up in that situation. What do you think of that attack?
I mean, I thought she did a good job. You know, she kind of did a lot of bobbing and weaving and stuff and was finally able to push him off. But like the aftermath of it was kind of just frustrating. Like seeing everything that happened after she was able to like get him off, and the fact that he was still there. Like he didn't leave.
Run off. What was that? Like the fact that he was bold enough. You guys, again,
around
to go, period. You guys, once again, same lesson. People are bold. These kidnappers, to kidnap somebody, you have got to be completely obliviously bold. You to literally physically take somebody, no matter where you're at, whether it's public or private, you have got to be bold. This guy was so bold. He walked in complete daytime, went to her house. He had no idea who was in the house, who was watching, nothing. He went right up to the house, physically was trying to take. Where was he even going to take her? It didn't look like he had a car parked or a friend nearby. This fool was sitting in front of the lawn. What was he going to do? Maybe he was trying to do something right there. Maybe he was trying to do something right there to her.
Maybe in the back or something. Take her like to the door. You know, you saw the wood door back there.
Lesson, you guys. People do not care. And you have to be able to know for yourself and be able to protect yourself from it. Now, let's talk about her brother, okay? First of all, before we get on him, let's give him a little praise, because he went out there. And he went out there, he stood up, he didn't back down. He wasn't as aggressive as I would have wanted him to be.
He should have walked out there like the Incredible Hulk and Hulk smashed that guy. But like he literally went up there, walked up to the guy's face, was talking to him, gave him a little gentle nudge. Like, what are you doing? But like, I'm pretty sure his sister said like he tried to like get me or kidnap me or something. I'm sure she said something happened, and he just walks up to him like, "What's going on, sir?"
He wasn't like, "What's good?" He was
like, "What's going on?" And he's like,
"No, he didn't do." You making him sound like you exaggerating on his whackness.
Like the guy was there talking. The guy's like, "Yeah, whatever," talking to him, and then he gives a little gentle nudge. This man is still here on your front lawn. What the F is he still doing there? Get him off of your front lawn, like beat his behind, and then like call the cops or something later.
Yes, I would have loved to see her brother go to town on that man, because her brother had size.
He was bigger than him.
He was a sizable dude. We don't know if he could fight it out. We don't know his men. We don't know anything.
His weight around.
Just from what the looks of things, I would have loved to see that. But with that being said, he did enough to be able to protect his sister. So we got to give him props. He protected his sister. And he didn't have to throw a punch. He didn't have to do that to be able to protect his sister in that particular situation. So much props to her brother, man. He's a better man than I am, but good job. All right, let's look at one more video, you guys.
You wouldn't have thought twice.
I would have been in jail. I would have been in jail. If my daughter was screaming, bang on the door, and I open it, and there's a grown man out there who is trying to rape her, attack her, kidnap her. Nope. I don't even. Let's keep it moving. All right. So let's go to this next video. All right. This will be the last video, I think, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of the tactics that these traffickers are using that you need to share with your families. You guys, we're not just talking to you to talk to you. We're talking with you so that you can take this conversation right now with your families, with your wife. Matter of fact, if you have a wife or child, grab them, depending on how old they are, and talk about this thing after this is over. Or if you're a woman yourself, just have these conversations and bring it up to your churches. And friends, so that you guys can have these conversations. All right, let's go back. Let's look at another video real quick. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Here we go.
Defending the vulnerable is morally good, but recognize it does have dangers. 2 and 1, who's just gotten off of a Greyhound and is waiting for an Uber. And she's got another woman there with her. When this guy, news stories linked in the description, who had gotten off a bus the day before and been loitering around, accosts her and starts to talk with her when she doesn't want to talk to him, and then demands that she give him her children and grabs a hold of her 2-year-old. Again, they had no contact before. She actually pulls her 2-year-old away there, falls back. And if you're looking, she's actually got her 1-year-old on her back, actually kind of smushed her 1-year-old there. Now, watch what's going on here. You're going to start to see the screaming. I mean, obviously, we don't have audio here, but you can imagine there's a whole bunch of that. And people start coming out to see what the heck is going on as the 9-year-old who's run to the other side of that car is screaming and hollering, mom screaming, and these bystanders are trying to step in as well. But this guy has just completely lost.
No, they're trying to help.
No, but the dude's trying to take her. So.
Yeah.
2-year-old. Again, all the news stories say that they've never had any interaction or anything like that. So mom gets the kids back, and off she runs into the store. And the employees say, go in the store. You can go into the back room, into the employees' room. Now they're going to try to block this guy.
Is that him right there?
Yeah, that's him trying to get it.
To her.
Look.
Why in the world he didn't just run off at this point, having tried to kidnap her children and failing to do so is beyond me.
The lady.
He's going to punch this woman here. We're going to see from the angle of inside the store, and you see here he's just going to try to
look
get
at
this
that boy.
woman
Oh
out.
my God, she's trying to protect him.
I know, but what is this?
He's not having that. He's going to throw a punch at him, throw a couple of punches at this woman as well. And now she's going to get inside, and our dude in the red hat is going to try to get the doors closed, but this guy isn't having it, and obviously he
lady, move! You need to leave, lady.
Drugs or whatever, but he's very strong and not having it. So this guy finally gets through the door, and now our dude in the red hat is like, "Hey man, let's ease up." And dude's not having it. He's going to start throwing bombs.
He's trying.
And throwing punches at the guy.
This older
so you can
guy.
see he gets another right hand there, hits him with an elbow, and that elbow cut that guy open, and so he is going to run off out. Now the woman and her kids by this point have run back into a back room for employees. Now this young man right here is a high school wrestler who's about to come in, and he was actually across the street gassing up at another gas station. When he heard the commotion, he drove over and grabbed a hold of this guy when he hears what is going on. And it's off camera, and unfortunately they don't have any cameras that have been released of it, but he's going to grab a hold of this guy and throw him on the ground.
Got him in a wrestling move.
Is a champion high school wrestler, apparently won his section in heavyweights just a month before or something like that, and competed in the state tournament. And now he grabs this guy and holds him down. Now you're going to see the other employees. You know, when we talk about when seconds count, police are only minutes away, and they're going to hold this guy who doesn't want to be held down in place. And you're going to see him kind of talking with them a little bit.
This lady is not helping. She needs to move.
You see him using his hands, trying to slap it at our defender here, at our protector.
He got him.
He's going to get
look at this dude. He really got him in a wrestling
here. And finally, our protector's going to get in some side control here. Now, I'm going to speed this up just for the sake of time.
Look at that.
He's going to hold him here for 3 full minutes in this particular place, waiting for police
mercy,
to arrive.
man. Look at that guy.
3 minutes.
Look at this guy.
When the first police cruiser is going to show up, and he's just going to hold him here in a pretty decent side control position. Again, as a champion level wrestler, he's got a whole lot of
the little yellow caution. Caution, what
or chokes or anything like that to put that guy.
Look at this! Look at this kid, man.
Good pressure on the guy and keep that guy from being able to breathe and being able to move, from being able to access his waist as well. Finally, you're going to see police department show up. You're going to see the officers say, "Okay, we got it. We're cool. You're the caller. That's great." and they're going to roll this guy over, and he's not going to resist the officer who gets him into cuffs. The dude is facing a host of charges.
Look at that. Oh, look at that high schooler.
Well, he's being held on a
She's like, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much.
For his trial. And our young man received a bunch of accolades and is rightly being seen as a hero.
Deserved.
Bystanders, I think, did as well. Mama and babies are doing okay.
Deserved it. Look at that
trauma,
kid.
and that is where this one ends. Really great, courageous stop by that.
Oh, mercy, you guys. Yo, babe, what are your thoughts on that? Let's let that play out while we talk about it.
I mean, that's just scary, you know, because the thing is, like, a lot of times when you're just out in public with your kids, like, you may not necessarily have like the strongest hold on them and stuff. And to see, like, again, this guy is literally like on something. He's like completely,
he doesn't care.
Completely. He's either on some type of drug or just, again, off of his medication or something. For suffering from some type of mental illness, because he ran after them
in a public,
and they didn't, and he doesn't know them. So there's no, it's not like he's running.
I wouldn't necessarily say that he was on something or guarantee like
he is clearly on something, Anthony. There's like no one in their right mind.
Who cares?
He's either on something or completely crazy.
Who cares whether he was on something or not? You guys see this. This is something. This is real life, you guys. This guy, this man was trying to take this woman's child, this toddler, did not care about who was watching or who was around. And to the extent of this guy is literally now going after them in a store.
Yeah.
This poor woman, by the way, she's a freaking hero to me too. Because look at she's literally given her life.
Yeah, she's
right
taking
now.
them punches.
She's given her life to try to save this people that she doesn't even know. And then this guy comes, he does his best. He's punching this woman. She's not moving. She's not moving. Matter of fact, yo, look at this. This is how gangster that woman is. She's so amazing. She did not move. Watch the lady, right? All right, boom, here she is. She's not moving. She does not let go of this thing, period, until this guy says, go ahead.
Go inside, yeah.
He doesn't that's how amazing she is. She does not let go until this guy says, go, get out of here. Like, go, get out of here. And then she'll let go. She's getting punched. Here he is. She's like, go. Now he's like, come on. Now, this is where she should have actually left. I don't think she should have stayed there. She should have probably dipped out. But this guy, his turn.
Some superhuman strength.
That's not superheroes.
That is like drug. That's like PCP strength.
He's just swinging wildly. He's not even freaking. He's just swinging. And bam, got him. Now he's out. Now
blood on the floor.
Oh, and this guy, he's going after. He
still
wants that
going
child.
after
he
the
wants
kid.
That child. Now here comes this high school kid who's a freaking G. Look how big his behind is. This dude.
And he charged in like
a freaking Thor.
Just
like
no holds barred. He had no reservations on going in there and helping.
No fear. Goes, grabs the guy, tackles the guy, holds the guy. This dude is a freaking G. Look at her. And she needs to stop.
She over here slipping all over.
Blood and stuff. She need to stop. Like, that's where she need to go call someone. I know she's trying to help, but don't do that. You're actually doing more. You're actually hurting more than you're helping at that point. Anyway, so look, you guys, let's talk about that. So, you guys, I again, another lesson learned as we keep looking at lessons from these videos. Lesson learned from that. Number one, obviously, is people don't care where you're at, what you'll do. If you are someone that they want, or you have a child that you want, they're going to go after it, period. And you don't always have someone there to protect you, as we've seen in some of the other videos. In this video, however, praise God, there were multiple people who protected this person. And the question is, what would you do in this situation? What would you do? Would you be that woman who was holding on, getting punched in her face and beaten just to protect this random people that you don't know? Would you be that older man who goes and steps in and moves the lady and goes to blows with this guy, then gets his freaking face split open? Or would you, I mean, if you was that high school wrestler, you like, first of all, he's a wrestler. So you can see that he was okay to the fighting part.
But you have to remember, he was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and also he didn't know, like that's another thing. He had no idea if this guy had any weapons on him or nothing, but he literally like went in, did not care at all. He was like, he's gonna contain this situation, which was actually pretty heroic.
exactly, you guys.
But like your mom said, a lot of heroes aren't alive today to tell the story. So you got to think about that stuff as well.
That's the cost of stepping in, right? That's the cost of stepping in. When you decide and determine, I'm going to step into a third party situation where if I see someone being kidnapped or if I see someone trying to be abducted, are you going to step in? And every single time you make that decision to step in, you're stepping into a situation where you have to understand that it's possible you may not come out of it, or you may not come out of it in one piece. And you should never step into it trying to be a hero. I know for certain none of those people in that video we just saw were like, oh, I want to be a hero.
Yeah.
I want to be a hero. This is my moment. Nobody thought that. Everyone was just thinking, protect this lady. Period. Protect this child.
Kids.
Period.
Kids, yeah.
That's it. And they said that the high school kid was across the street.
And he drove
getting
over,
gas.
yeah.
He was across the street. He could have gotten his car and drove off and went home. He was across the street getting gas and decided to pull in and save this or help protect this thing. It's freaking insane, you guys. Freaking insane. Happy Sabbath, Lorraine. Greetings from Suriname. What's happening? Chima, you said the minute dude puts his hands on me, it's a wrap. Now we beefing. We gonna be having a conversation, but hands will be doing the talking. They might need to call the cops to get me off, dude. I feel you. I feel you, Chima. All right, you guys. So I want to ask you guys real quick. I do want to talk about. I want to share with you real quick some scary tactics that these people are using. Traffickers are using. I just want to ask you real quick. Do you guys want to see another video and learn lessons from that? Or do you want me to move on to that? All right. If you want to see another video, just let me know. Type the number 1 in the comment section if you want to see another video. Type number 2 if you want me to move on to learn about the tactics that these hijackers are using right now. I just want to ask you guys, see what you guys think. Let me know. 1, if you want to see another video. 2, if you want me to just move on to the scary tactics. Let me know, and then I'll do what the consensus says. Excuse me. In the meantime, I just want to say one more thing about that video. When I first seen that mess got me chills, because the biggest piece of that video was just that high school guy to me. Like, he came in like a freaking superhero, guns blazing, did not care about anything, and just did and just like you said, not knowing if the dude had a gun or a weapon or anything else, and just went for it.
Yeah,
just freaking went for it. That's crazy to me, you guys. I don't know what the freak.
It was definitely...
You guys, I don't know what the freak. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Sharice, you said, why not both? I'm definitely doing both. I mean, I'm definitely doing the scary tactics. I'm definitely gonna tell you guys about that. But I just want to know if you want to see another video before I showed you or talk to you guys about that tactics that traffickers are actually using to get women out there like you guys and the kids like that. So since we only got one person, Wendy, saying just one more video, then we'll just drop one more video. All right. So we'll do one more video, Wendy, and we're going to talk about lessons from that video. And then I'm going to share with you guys some of the tactics that they're actually using. It's really scary. I actually talked to Adana, and was it your mom, about the stuff they were doing at Target? Hold on, you guys. Speaking of this, what's happening? Hold on.
Tata.
What, baby?
Can I please come in here?
No, come. You can say hi real fast to people. Just say hi.
Hi.
This is why we're having this conversation right here, you guys. This is exactly why. All right, go ahead. Go.
All right.
You need to go back and finish your
I want to
thing.
stay with mommy.
No. All right. Sorry, you guys. All right, cool. All right, so let's get one more video in. We're gonna learn some lessons from this video, and then I'm gonna share with you guys some of these tactics. Did I remember? I was asking about.
I remember the Target thing, but I don't remember who was like.
So I'm gonna share with you guys some of that stuff. But all right, let's just get one more video in real quick, you guys. Why not? Let's do this. We're here to learn. We're here to
share this again. If you were just now joining us, I want you guys to share this information with your families, with your kids. Talk to you guys about this because this is important stuff for your lives. Excuse me. All right, here we go. One more video at least. Never let it take you to second location. We learned that lesson already. Another kidnapping here. I guess we can do this one. All right.
So we've helped people customize and save with Liberty.
No, put you guys some meeting. Cover your eyes, you guys.
God.
It's the Sabbath, you guys. Cover your eyes.
Oh God.
All right. Here we go.
So fast that you and only you, real self-defense encounters are so fast that you and only you will be able to protect yourself. Wandering through this gas station looking for an intended victim. And watch what happens here as this woman's going to come from the left-hand side going to her car that's on the right. She doesn't really notice this guy or see him. And when she goes to get in her car, he is going to come at her from behind and stuff her into the car and get in behind her. Now, we can't really see what's going on inside the car, but you can see that that car is rocking and rolling and see just enough to recognize that now she gets the passenger door open and they are arguing and fighting on the inside of that car. You see the windshield wipers go, which tells me they're flailing inside that car, and she's working hard to get away from this guy. And if you go and read the news story, it took them quite a while to find him, but she is not having it here and is not going to be taken to another location. So what's going to happen here is she's going to fight and fight and fight and finally get out of the car and even grab her purse and get away from this guy.
What did she throw?
Run off. It took police quite a while to find him. In fact, it was some U.S. Marshals that ended up taking him into custody. He faces charges of burglary and of kidnapping. Man, I'm really glad they eventually caught that guy. I hope he stays behind bars an awful long time. If you want to get better as a self-defender, get a little more active self-protection in your daily repertoire. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Just load up your app.
He goes actually. We're gonna listen to. We're gonna take a quick second, you guys, to just listen to the lesson that he teaches from this actual video.
Coming and going to their cars, people coming and going inside of the place where they're going to, inside the convenience store or whatever. Somebody just kind of wandering between cars and not going inside or coming from inside or those kinds of things is absolutely a pre-attack indicator and a warning sign. It's something that I really want you to pay attention to and say, hey, wait a minute, this is out of the normal. That's that environmental awareness that really helps. Now, this guy's walking across and just kind of ambling, and I want you to see the target glance right here. You notice that he looks over and sees what he thinks of as going to be a target for him. That kind of target glance is very important. Now, it might
I didn't even
just
notice
be a person who is just normally kind of curious of their world. Okay, fine. But when you combine somebody who is not doing what you'd expect in a gas station with somebody who is paying attention to you personally, now you start to have the ability to say, aha, this is a particular problem, and I want to be very careful and cautious of it. So these are those kind of pre-attack indicators that those target glances really help us with. Now, what we're going to see here is this guy's just going to kind of mosey on past, and we see
he does. He got gloves on.
Why would he choose her? She's a vulnerable person. Notice he doesn't choose a big, strong guy to victimize. He chooses a woman. Why? Because he probably feels like he can overwhelm her physically. If you are in a vulnerable population, that includes women, that includes the elderly, that includes the physically disabled, you want to be especially careful to pay attention to those pre-attack indicators, also to keep your tools on you, have that attitude, skills, and plan. Now, I don't mean that she's done a terrible job here of not paying attention. I just think she didn't see the fact that this guy kind of was looking at her and wondering if she was going to be a good victim. Had she done that, I don't think she would have turned her back like this on this guy. This is a very normal thing, but recognize that when you are getting in your car, you do tend to kind of get focused on the inside of your car, and that is a mistake from a self-defense perspective. When you open that door, take that last look around. As you're going to go to open the door of your car, just make sure that everything around you is okay and you have the time and space to get in your car safely and that no one's paying attention to you who shouldn't. She might have been able to avoid the fight that is to come if she had simply done that, which again, I'm not saying that she's terrible for not having done that. That's kind of advanced around your car 101. Now, notice
you see how quick
and he did it so forcefully.
Important that obviously this is just completely knocking her off her rocker, but she has the emotional fitness, the presence of mind to stay here and to turn this up and to say, no, I am not going softly, and to start fighting this guy. And that's really, I think, the most important part of active self-protection is having the
And she had
attitude
them
of
heels
a
on,
self-defender.
so
No one has a
she
right to
was,
hurt me,
like,
and I will
kicking
not
him
be
with
taken.
them.
I love the fact as well that she doesn't get kidnapped here because she fights. We know that statistically speaking, particularly in rape attempts, that women who fight back against rapists and against kidnappers are no more likely to be injured than those who don't, and they are far less likely to be taken or to be raped. And so I think that women across America and across the world need to be taught to fight back and fight like their life depends on it, because it probably does depend on it. She does a very good job here of getting herself out of the danger zone and getting away from the car. Now, obviously, if she had children in the car or something like that, she wouldn't be able to get away from the car, but in this case, she was. So get the heck out of the danger zone.
Woo! All right, you guys. So, bam. There's another one, you guys. Lesson learned from that, you guys. First of all, let me just ask you, babe, in that situation. Now, mind you, ladies and Adana, this is a normal thing. You're walking back from the gas station. You're going right to get into your car. It's a normal day. There's people at the gas station. There's other cars getting gas. There's nothing abnormal. Maybe with the exception of this random dude with the hood on, like some gloves, maybe looking a little shaky, but it's nothing really abnormal. And you just go into your car. In this situation, what was your thought about this video? What would you have done in this situation?
I mean, I would hope that I would have fought like her, but the thought of the video is, I mean, I think now, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I've seen stuff, but I typically like do look around and like make sure that there's no one like trying to charge me or come towards me or anything like that when I'm getting into the car or even getting out of the car. Like I always, like if somebody's coming past me, like I always make sure like they actually pass by my car and keep moving before I open the door, things like that, just because I'm just always on edge and so suspicious about people nowadays. So I would have probably been a little bit more aware of my surroundings, but I think ultimately like her fighting and getting that door open, because you know she was on the opposite side of the car on the driver's side, and she was able to get to the passenger side, get the door open, and get out of the car. So I think that she did a great job. Ultimately, she prevented herself from getting kidnapped. So
you're right. I think for me, you guys, and again, that it's just such a normal situation that you're not really thinking about someone just gonna freaking. He aggressively grabbed her, put her head in. You don't know her. You have no idea. You're so not expecting that. Her head could have easily smashed against the steering wheel or the dashboard or the middle console.
The thing.
Yeah,
like,
she's just completely caught off guard. But like he said in the video, the host, she had the awareness, the physical awareness to be able to stay in the moment and fight. You know, sometimes, again, as we talked about before, sometimes ladies will clam up, and especially in a situation like that, where you're so physically taken and maybe hurt, you just clam up. That's some people's reaction, but then some people's genuine reaction is like it's an immediate fight, like you fight back. You have to know what kind of person you are. Are you that person that might clam up, or are you that person? Can you stop taking that, baby? Shaking this thing. Or are you the person that actually fight back or clam up? Those are actually very important things to know as a woman, because this can happen to you. Like, this is no joke. This can happen to Adana. This is no joke. Our world, the devil has our world in a complete circus, and people are out there not caring about getting caught. Like, some of these people may have been to prison. They don't care about going back to prison. They just want to rape you. They want to steal from you. They want to kidnap you. They want to kill you. They won't care. So what do you do in that situation? You have to know what kind of person you are, and you have to be able to take time to learn that self-defense and have a reaction to fight back. I know we said that was going to be the last video, but I do want to show you one more. The reason I want to show you this one, actually, I showed my wife this one, and I showed my girls this one. Wait, I just showed Azriel this one, my older one. This
you
one.
didn't show me this.
I did. I showed you this one.
I said Mimi.
No, not Mimi. So I showed my wife in this one, but I want to show this one to you. If you have a child, watch this. Don't turn. Watch this. If you have a child, or if you have a niece, or if you know someone who has a child, watch this video right now, because we're going to watch it and we're going to talk about it.
because this one right here messed me up. I'm like, this is one of those videos where if you're sensitive to these type of things, stop watching right now. Okay, no one's gonna die. You're not gonna see any blood or anything like that. It's just a very emotional, tense thing that you're gonna wish you could jump through the screen. But I want to show you guys this so that we could talk about lessons from it. All right, so let's talk about this right now. If you have a child, you need to watch this right now. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go.
Friends, please teach the women in your life the importance of them defending themselves. The Mantis X firearms training system attaches to any gun with a today's active self-protection lesson out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Our offender here is actually a corporal in the police in Sao Paulo, and that makes this one even worse. Warning on this one, friends, we're going to see a young woman abducted and taken into a car, so watch this one with discretion. Just pay attention to what happens, then we'll come back and learn some lessons. The news story here says again that this guy is a corporal in the police in Sao Paulo, and he's pulled over here. We don't know where he's come from, and you're going to see him here kind of start looking around and then get into the trunk of his car. And what you're going to see here in just a second is he's clearly going to put a firearm on. He's getting something out of the back of his car there, probably working out of his duty bag, and put something in his waistband. Again, the news story says that he threatened her with his firearm, and that's going to become important here in a little bit. But you see, he puts that on there. Now he's doing a look around thing where he is kind of furtive glancing, and then he can see kind of where she's coming from, which is going to be from our right. You can see him seeing that she's coming and now looking around to see if he's got anybody around. And again, in the original, which is several minutes longer, nobody comes by at all. This is a very secluded area. And this girl, from what the news story said, was going to church of all things. 18 years old, and you can see the size discrepancy, and he's got a hold of her here. And now she's like, no, I don't want to go with you, but he's not having it. He has a hold of her by the arm here, and there's no way she's going to be able to resist him physically at this point. And he is going to put her in the car. And again, the news story says he held her for 30 minutes, did everything that he wanted to do with her. And they have a warrant out for his arrest, but he hasn't been arrested yet so far as I know. And that's where the video ends. Friends, this one really is terrible. I don't have anything good to say about it.
Let's keep watching for a second.
Try to learn some lessons to get some redemption out of this poor woman's victimization. I do want to think about some significant lessons out of this one. Number one, about pre-attack indicators. Number two, about awareness and maintaining your distance. And number three, having the emotional fitness and the willingness to defend ourselves and not be taken to a second location. So some significant and sad lessons out of this one, friends. I just encourage you to think about how old a kid should be able to see this. I mean, clearly not little children, but think about showing it to your teenagers at least, and the women in your life, so they see what the realities are. Now, interestingly here, he has chosen this place most likely because he knows that the likelihood of being caught is slim. Now, it's interesting here as we stop it for just a second, you can see that he is putting the gun in his waist, and that looks like a right hand being used to do that. I'm going to guess, 85-90% chance that he's right-handed, and so that's going to become important in just a little bit. Now, look at him looking around. Look at the furtive glances here, and I want you to pay attention to that. Not that it would have necessarily made a huge difference because there's not a lot of people here, but in general, when you see people, they're making these furtive glances left and right. They're either looking for escape routes or they're looking to see if there are witnesses about. So when you see somebody doing that, pay attention. Now, notice as well, he has seen her coming down the street. He knows she's on the way, and you can see him kind of peeking through the bars there to see if she's coming and what his timing is going to be. And this is why awareness is so important. Now, she might have seen him go by and seen him pull in there, but at the very least, being able to look around and keeping your head up and seeing what's going on in your world might have given her some awareness to not go down this street, to maybe go a different block and stay away from him entirely. Now, you see him as he's looking around and going, okay, he has planned his attack. Now, I want to pay attention that she can see him at this point. Clearly, he's come around the corner of the building at this point, so he's not hiding himself to just jump on top of her. He is going to accost her, and that gave her some opportunity. She's not on screen yet. She has some space here if she would have chosen to use it. Now, why is she chosen in the first place? I'm not 100% positive, but look at her body language here. She has noticed that her chin is down, and you can see the fact that she is not looking at what's going on around her. When I teach women's self-defense classes, the first thing that I teach is to fail the first interview by knowing who you are, by knowing that you're valuable, you cannot be attacked, and by being aware of your world. And what you do that is with your nose up, your chin up, looking around at the world around you, not looking at your feet, looking at your world. And that will many times cause you to be not selected as a victim by its very nature, because you will fight back. You probably will give them a hard time, and they will choose an easier victim. Now, this girl, the news story says, is only 18 years old, but learning how to use your
She's so
posture
tiny,
and your
too.
awareness is incredibly important to teach our daughters, to teach our wives, to teach all the women in our lives. Now, as he gets up to her, she finally sees him. He's that close when she finally pays attention to him, but at this point, he has not touched her yet. One of the most important things, ladies, that you can know is that you have to maintain enough distance that he can't get a hold of you. Once he gets a hold of you, the problem becomes very significantly complicated. So staying out of his distance where you can use speed and get the heck away from him and run to safety is incredibly important. So you see there, he's got a hold of her at that point with his right hand. And look at the size disparity between them, you guys. I mean, this guy's a big dude. She's obviously a little bitty girl. And so most women's self-defense classes that teach, touch him here, hit him in this spot, do this thing, honestly, our Hulkwomen are not going to work. If she's going to physically defend herself at this point, she's going to have to go absolutely viciously and attack him in hard ways. Now, we see women do that all the time. I'm not saying that's impossible, but she's going to have attitude, skills, and plan. Notice as well that he's got a hold of her with his right hand. He can't draw that gun that he's about to threaten her with at all if he wanted to. So if she goes after him, the gun is not in play, and all she has to do is get him to let her go. She doesn't have to actually defeat him. They see him there, he threatens her with his gun, but she doesn't have to be able to beat him up. She has to be able to make him let her go. Now, finally here, you notice she finally kind of sets down and goes, no, I'm not going in there. And ladies, one of the ways that we talk about not being taken to a second location is being willing to absolutely get on the ground and fight like a dog with your feet in that moment and make it incredibly painful for him, because being taken in the car is a terrible, terrible outcome. And therefore, don't get taken to a second location. Even if that's, you're going to flop on the ground like a toddler, do that at the very least so that he cannot hold on to you and get you off your behind and into the car. Because obviously, anytime you get taken to the second location, terrible, horrible things are happening there. And they're happening here, and they happen to this young woman. And that's terrible. Again, the woman is on her way to church, and this is what happens to her. So please, ladies, hear me. You are of inestimable value, worth, and dignity as a bearer of the image of God. You have the right to defend yourself, and no one has the right to harm you. So learn the lessons that you get out of this one so that you cannot be victimized, that you know how to fail the victim selection process. You use your awareness, your eyes are up so that you don't get surprised, that you know how to fight. And that's going to take you a good bit of time of training, not a one-off women's self-defense class, but actual training that's week after week so that you have the attitude, skills, and plan to not be a victim like this poor girl, but instead you can cover your ass.
All right, you guys. So, first of all, I hope you heard everything he said, because see, I couldn't say it any better. That he said everything exactly the way it is. What'd you think? What was your thoughts on that? Because I showed it down to that. I showed so that video that you guys just saw, I showed her and I showed my 10-year-old daughter, because I thought that she needed to see that, because she needed to see not only that this happens, but we need to talk about what to do in a situation like that. The one thing I always teach Azriel, my daughter, always, is I say, if anyone tried to take you, you do every single thing that you can possibly do. You punch, kick, scream, scratch, yell, spit, do everything that you can do. Be as much of a problem as you can be, because anybody who's going to try to kidnap you, whether you're a grown woman or a child, nobody wants to try to take someone who's a problem. No one wants a problem. They want someone submissive. They want someone to just come. If you're going to be a problem for them, your chances of them taking you decrease tremendously, because they don't want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to try to rape somebody or take somebody who is that much of a problem. And so you do everything in your power to bring as much attention to the situation, to bring as much pain to that person, especially as the guy keeps telling us in this host, he keeps telling you, do not be taken to a second location.
Never be taken. So if you find yourself getting robbed, give them whatever they want. If you find yourself where they're trying to take you, never, ever go. You fight to the death, because if you don't, all that's going to happen is you're going to die, or very, very bad things are going to happen to you when you do get taken. Remember, no one's trying to take you to a second location to drop you back off safely anywhere. That's not happening. So that's a very, very important lesson from that. Why is this thing not working? What's going on? Oh, there we go. That'll work. So that's the key lesson there, you guys. So before we get off, obviously, I want to talk to you guys and share with you guys. This is very important. We need to talk about what are some tactics that some of these kidnappers and human traffickers using to try to get you guys. Before I go over these, I wanted to share with you one thing that I learned. So I told my wife about this, and this is very important. Listen, okay? There was a scheme going on in public retail stores like Target and Walmart and things like that, where what happens is that there's people in the actual parking lot of Target. Let's say you know what's happening. There we go. So if you're in Target, you drive. Let's say you pull up. There's actually guys in the Target parking lot already there looking. They're scanning the parking lot. They're inside of vans and bigger trucks. Sometimes vehicles, sometimes smaller cars, but typically they're inside larger trucks, SUVs, pickup trucks, and vans. And they're already in the parking lot looking and scanning. If they see you get out of your car, at that point, you are already targeted, right? So you're getting out of your car and you go into Target. Now, what happens is they're not alone. These people in the car, they're a team. Remember, these human traffickers, you guys, it's typically not one person. They work as a team. So they have people inside of the Target. They'll call the people on their phone. The guy in the car will call someone on the phone and describe you. And so that there's people inside the Target, and when you walk in, they notice you. So now they're actually watching you. So you have people inside of Target watching you. They'll go around, you'll do your shopping, they're watching you the whole time, and then they're communicating with their person outside. In the meantime, what's happening is if there's a vehicle that's parked next to your vehicle outside, the person who's outside in their car, in that truck or van, they'll pull into that spot that's right next to your car, and they're waiting for you to get out. In the interim, their partner or partners who's inside, they're communicating to let their guy outside know when you're coming back out. So they'll let them know when you're coming back out. They'll let you know. Now, when you're walking to your car, into the Target parking lot, you're going to your car thinking everything's fine. Right next to that, they'll simply grab you and pull you right into the truck or van or wherever they're at and pull right off. Easy peasy. And that whole thing is completely planned and set up, and because you're targeted at that point. So now they pull off, and remember, some of you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, like it's a Target parking lot. There's people all over the place. There's cameras. We just showed you how many videos?
And I mean, it takes anywhere from seconds to minutes for that to happen.
Seconds.
That one lady, it was like, what did he say? Like 24 seconds. With the three people that was helping the one that was
But how many videos did we show them?
Yeah.
Where we just clearly showed that people don't care. People are not caring about who's around watching. There's people who don't care. Remember, these human traffickers, they have a system, they have a plan. They're not just your average Joe. So they're targeting you in these specific ways, and they'll take you in to go. That's not the only thing. Check this out. I also told them about where at the same places, this could be in front of a convenience store or in front of a retail store, but there was a situation where there was an older woman, and she was outside of the store. She had a table set up of these oils. And so she had these oils set up, and so people would come, and a person would come, and she'd take the woman or the child's hand, she'd take the woman's hand, and she dabbed their wrist with the oil, and she said, "Oh, smell the oil, smell." And so she's smelling it, smells good, and she's dabbing it with the oil. Then now this woman who has this, she either bought the oil or didn't buy the oil, but now she goes back to her car, that oil that was put on her wrist was not just a typical oil. It was some sort of whatever, chemical or medicine or whatever the case is, that when she smells this and she's smelling it, it's actually affecting her to make her pass out. So as she's driving, literally, this woman passes out. The car either stops or crashes, whatever the case is. The person will come out, take the, and mind you, sorry, I forgot the important part. Someone is actually following. They're working with this older woman. The older woman's working with the traffickers so that the traffickers are actually following the woman who put the oil on in their car, waiting for that car to stop, pass out, whatever the case is, so that they can then pull up, grab the person, and go. These are things that are actually happening. These are tricks and things that are actually happening that you guys have to be aware of. You can't just be that. It's 2020. You can't just la-di-da-di go out and take oils off of random people and smell them. You can't trust people in ways that you could back then. It's just not the same type of thing. Human trafficking is the #1 highest grossing criminal organization thing in the entire world. The #1. So let me show you guys this right now. This is and this is, again, so you guys can go and share this with your people. This right here is some of the tactics that human traffickers use. All right, let's look at this real quick. This is important. All right, here we go. #1. It says lover boy techniques. And this is for you because you haven't seen this yet, right? Nope.
No.
All right, it says, in spite of what you might read online, abduction is one of the rare methods of human trafficking and recruitment. More common are quote-unquote lover boy techniques, where a trafficker will seduce a young woman in order to force or coerce them into prostitution. The victim is groomed and abused throughout the relationship at the first sign of either residue. So let's talk about that for a second. We just recently talked about the grooming thing. I never knew that was actually I never knew that was a term used to describe what that is. Adana knew. I didn't know that when we just recently talked about it because of something that actually happened on something else that happened. Watch my previous video. But yeah, what do you think about that?
I mean, I could see that. I could see the whole grooming aspect of things and, like kind of the mind tricks, I guess, that your boyfriend would play. I think we saw a movie like that, right? Remember, like there was a girl who had she became like the third party in this relationship, and she was like the girlfriend, and then he forced her into prostitution.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we did. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, I could actually absolutely see that happening. So,
and that's clear. It happens all the time, obviously, with regard to getting these women to actually fall in love. Here's another one, you guys. Fake job advertisements. Another common tactic is a fake offer of employment. Traffickers love to prey on the desperate, and when times are tough, there's plenty of desperation to go around. A trafficker may advertise for a nanny, travel agent, or other jobs in the tourism or hospitality industries. When the victim shows up for their interview, any documents they brought with them are seized, and the victim is subject to physical, emotional, and psychological abuse. Always do some background research on any company that invites you for an interview. Oftentimes, a simple internet search can tell if a company is legitimate or not. I will go as far as to even say, because they could use legitimate companies and say that I'm part of this company. You could do an internet search and they're saying they're from XYZ company, and that company is a legit company. And they're saying, we'll meet you at this place, and you think it's totally fine. So, I mean, yeah, definitely make sure that the company is legit. But at the same time, I would even go as far as to say, bring someone with you. Have
someone with you waiting for you.
Yeah, have someone with you. Go to a job interview, especially if anything seems even the teeniest bit shaky.
I think that's part of with all of this human trafficking and kidnapping and all that stuff. I think that is also pretty key, is just kind of having the wherewithal to listen to your gut, listen to your that inner you that's telling you yo, something's off, something's not right. Because like, like, and don't even feel bad about it. Like, I promise you, like, it does not, I could care less if the person is black, white, and whatever. If I see somebody like walking towards the car, or if I just get in the car, I automatically like hit the lock button. And I don't even think twice about it. I don't feel bad about it if it's a black dude or not. I'm like, if I'm profiling, because it's a matter of your gut feeling,
Tell me about what just happened to you. Tell them.
Oh yeah, like, so I mean, I was, out in like a city like here in Maryland with my dad. I had taken him somewhere and I had to go like find a bank, and I wasn't aware, like, this is not like a city that I frequent.
Bethesda, say it.
And it's
Let me
not
tell
like,
you why you say Bethesda, because Bethesda is a nice rich
area,
nice area where you would not think anything would go wrong in Bethesda. Here, Bethesda is a really rich type of an area, safe seeming area. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like, I don't know anything about Bethesda. Like, I don't frequent there at all. And so I had to look for a bank. I was looking for a bank, and I wasn't in my car. I was just walking around. And so I was already like on edge, because I'm like, all right, I got to find this bank. But like, I saw this guy like just kind of standing in the middle of this scaffolding, because there was a building that was being built or renovated or whatever. And I had to go in that direction to get to the bank that I saw like on the opposite side of the street. But just something did not sit right with me. I was like, I'm not walking towards you in that scaffolding, because I have no idea. Like, he just did not seem right. So I literally like stopped in my tracks. So like, I got on my phone. I called the bank that I was really looking for, and I made sure that I didn't go there. And then after that, like, I saw him like kind of meander on off, and then I like crossed the street and went to the bank that I was.
You did the right thing,
but
not caring. Don't care. Who cares if someone thinks like, whoa, you think I'm scared? Like, who cares? Just if you feel uncomfortable,
if you feel uncomfortable,
if your what is it? Your creep alert, creep alarm goes off, then freaking listen to it.
Yeah.
Always listen to your creep alarm, and do that. Let's keep looking at this. It says cults. Religious cults are another way to recruit victims of human trafficking. And I'll even go as far as this. Let me finish reading this. A charismatic and often attractive leader will use victims' religious beliefs against them in order to lure them into becoming willing participants. Often they are groomed in the same way that a lover boy might groom their victims, through emotional, psychological, physical abuse over time. If you join a new church and something feels off, don't stick around. Leave immediately. If you suspect that religious organization is actually a cult, report it to your local authorities. You guys, let me go on to say, this doesn't have to be a cult.
Yeah, it could just
be church. You guys, just recently, again, look at my last video. There's a woman who talked about exactly this that I talked about, and I share with you guys, who literally went through this exact same thing. Part of a church where this was her claims, allegedly to her. There's pastors that allegedly groomed her and then went on to have a sexual relationship with her. I wouldn't even say a relationship, sex with her. And then she also said that she was raped. Again, these are by men of God. And this isn't a cult. This is just church.
I mean, yeah, like I've told you about stuff like from when I was a kid, with like people that I knew, and then like me myself as well, like just being the dirty old churchman. And like, so it's all of this whole like cult thing. It's literally just like they're men, and then some of them are just dirty men. And so you just have to be on your guard, because like, I mean, the situation with me and my friends, if I had been like, oh yeah, like engaged in it or entertained like his advances, like who knows what could have happened. And sometimes it's a matter of like, again, like having that wherewithal to be like, no, like you're a creep, like you're weird. I'm only 12 or whatever the case may be. Like, let's keep this moving.
Oh, all right, you guys. So when when we're done with this video, which will be very soon, and if you want to hear more of that story, you can go back and watch my last video. Abduction,
which is what we were talking about this whole time.
While it is a rarer form of recruitment, abduction is a method that human traffickers use. While on the whole, traffickers prefer more vulnerable victims, as we just talked about. I told you, no one wants a problem. Like the homeless and young runaways, they do occasionally choose other targets. Just ask Michigan resident Nahar Ali, who recently posted this Facebook video after his wife and young daughter had a close call at a Target parking lot. All right, we won't watch that, but you can, see what that is, and that's it. So, you guys, those are just some of the tactics that people are using to know some of these things. What's up, Jay? Oh, what up, Jay? You said, I'm trying to get my wife to pay more attention to her surroundings when she's out. Exactly. I feel you, because that's why I say the same things to my wife and to my daughters. I tell them all the time. I'm like, look, I literally do talk to them about this often.
All the time. And I do now, I have heated a little bit more because I used to be one to be on my phone, and you're not you're engaged in what's on your phone. So walking with my phone and stuff, but just now seeing some of this stuff and hearing the guy and you constantly talking about not being on the phone.
Drill it in their heads, dudes. Fellas, Jay, drill it in their heads, because if you say it once, it's not gonna stick. You got to be on them all the time, you guys. Say it all the time with your children, with your spouse, whatever. Go over with them. And one thing that we haven't really done yet that we're gonna do. My daughter started taking karate classes a while ago, but ever since COVID, that stopped. But I do want to do, I want them to take some more serious self-defense type classes, because they need to know that. Even though I will try to give them some self-defense every now and then, my wife is not having it. But we need to make sure.
Ann thinks he's an expert at everything. Okay, YouTube.
I don't think I'm an expert.
Yes,
I just know
you watch a couple YouTube videos.
No, I don't. I watch Bruce Lee. I watch Bruce, and I watch some other things. No, all I'm saying is, look, I may not be an expert, but I'm capable enough to be able to teach you some things to help you. Gosh. Okay. And as a dude, as a guy, we have to be able to do those things for our spouses and for our daughters, and even for our sons, obviously, for the younger kids, to be able to protect themselves, you guys, and know what's better. We just wanted to encourage you guys this tonight, because this is an important topic that isn't always talked about. I mean, I'll even ask you, when's the last time you were in a conversation about human trafficking? Honestly. And so, because it's not talked about often, it's not a thing that you hear about.
I think it's because we don't realize what it all encompasses. You don't really think somebody being kidnapped, they're about to be trafficked, right? You don't go that far. So I think us talking about it, showing hey, this is not just about trafficking as we think about it. This is literally somebody just being kidnapped, and there's a possibility of trafficking in that. So you have to be aware of everything. Your surroundings and stuff is important. So
exactly. So I want to end with this little story. So real quick, you guys, there was this is a true story too. This happened not too long ago. There was a young girl. I think she was 9 years old. A young girl who's about 9 years old. She was taken in a neighborhood, happy, easygoing neighborhood, a typical neighborhood that you let your kids go outside and play out front. And a car drove by and took this girl. A Ring camera captured it at a distance, and you could hear the girl screaming. You even saw the mom. Yep, you even saw the mom running after the car, because the car pulled up and literally yanked the girl from her mom, put her in the car, and dipped. So this grown man took this girl, 9-year-old, and the mom was screaming, and all that happened. So now the police are looking for this, right? And so the police get a tip hours later. that this vehicle was seen at a nearby hotel. And so the police go and they raid this hotel. And when they go in the hotel, they get the man. The man is found completely naked. Completely naked. Black dude, bald-headed black dude, really big guy. Oh, not really big, big enough guy. And he was found naked. They take him out of the room. He's butt naked, right? But then the police are looking for the girl still. And the police cannot find the girl. The police are calling the girl's name. They're looking around the room. They don't see her. Come to find out, one of the police officers go and they lift clothes off of a laundry basket that's in the room. And in the clothes, in the laundry basket, underneath all the clothes, there's the little girl, the little 9-year-old girl. And she was inside this basket. And when they were calling her name, she didn't say anything. And the police asked the girl, they said, you know, we're calling you. What's wrong? Why didn't you say anything? What's going on? And the little girl said that the man said that if I say anything, he's going to kill my parents. So even though this little 9-year-old girl heard the police, heard that they were in the room, heard that things were pretty much safe, she still was so scared. This man scared her so much that she would not even get out of the laundry basket because of the threat. Additionally, he was found naked in this hotel room with this little girl. And then they come to find out that this man, he's part of a human trafficking ring where they gather these girls and he actually sells them, or he works with someone who sells these girls. So clearly he kidnapped the girl, took her to a hotel, probably did whatever he wanted with that little girl, sexually and everything else, threatened her life, and then was just simply going to sell her to an organization where they would use her to have sex for men her whole life. In another country, mind you. And I also found out that human trafficking in the United States of America is the largest organized criminal crime there is in America. In America. This isn't like India or Taiwan. United States of America, human trafficking is the #1 highest grossing criminal organized crime in America. It's real, you guys. And so we wanted to share all this with you so that you can understand this is real, so that you can see from those videos we showed you that this happens, so that we could talk about some of the things that you can do in a situation, whether you are the victim or whether you're a bystander. What do? You need to talk to God. You need to talk to God and really figure out how are you going to approach a situation like that? Because there's a chance you could. There's a chance you could be in a situation where you see something in the distance that's happening, where someone's trying to be kidnapped or taken, or there's even even just as worse, something could happen to you and or your family. What are you going to do? So you need to talk these conversations with your spouse, with your children, with yourself now, so that you know how to handle these situations. And they need to know what are the things happening around you so that they can be cautious and aware. I'm so glad to hear that my wife is more cautious when she's living her life, that she's not walking down the street like this. You know, people do this all the time. You walk down the street, you're just texting, you're walking to your car, you go ahead and open the car door, you're walking in. That mess, that's the mess that you saw in the video where people are getting taken, getting abducted, getting kidnapped or attempted or whatever the case is. You can't do that. You got to be cautious and aware of your surroundings. My wife said, keep your creep alert. Listen to it. Listen to it. If something or someone feels creepy, they're creepy.
It matters.
Exactly.
So listen to your creep alert.
Exactly. If they're creepy. So freaking dip. Do whatever you got to do. And be aware of people even that you think you trust. You know, not be aware, be cautious, be alert of everybody, you know, even your pastors. As we learned as we've learned earlier this week from the other video, be aware of your pastors, your elders, your
the deacons.
Be aware of your Uncle Charles and your cousin Joe, Timbo. Be aware of your aunt. Be aware of the lady at church. Be aware of the lady at the grocery store. Be aware of your teacher.
The nanny.
Just be alert. Be alert. This isn't, and mind you, I don't want this to be a big old don't trust nobody speech, because otherwise you live in fear and all that stuff. Be cautious. Need to live in fear.
Yeah.
It's just be aware. If people are acting different around you, if people are giving little sly comments and sly things, saying something.
And also be aware, like, with respect to your children as well, in terms of, like, if you feel some kind of way, like when you see your child interact with someone or whatever the case may be, like, be cognizant of that and, like, listen to those / like just uneasy feelings as well. Don't just be like, oh, that's their aunt or uncle or whatever, and like just kind of pass it off. No, like you definitely like listen to it and keep that in mind.
Yeah. So. And I would add to that, be aware of your child's attitudes. Know your child. If you're noticing that your child attitude has been changing, if they're being more quiet, if they're being more distant, either from you or from a certain person, if you're noticing they're more depressed, and any sort of thing you're noticing about your child that's off, let that be an alert to figure out what's going on. Because if it's not normal, it's not right. No matter what it is. If it's not normal, it's not right. So you need to figure out what's going on. It could be nothing. It could be they didn't do well on a test, or, it could be whatever the case is. But you want to make sure that you're aware of your child's personality and the changes that they have, so that you can adjust accordingly. Same with your spouse. Maybe your spouse went through something like we said. Look, you guys, I talked about this in my last video. If a woman gets sexually assaulted, abused, or anything like that, they don't always say something right away. They may not, even if you're married, which is crazy, but they may not say something for whatever reason. There's so many reasons why they may not say something, because they're scared. They may be scared that their husband might do something. When you were younger and your little thing happened with that, you didn't necessarily say something right away because.
I mean, no, I didn't say anything until I was probably like older. Honestly, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. It was just weird, like you're just like, it was almost like embarrassing.
And mind you, what she went through she wasn't sexually assaulted.
I wasn't raped or anything like that, no. You guys. And then also, like, he was like a family friend, like our families were like close, like my brothers were friends with his kids. Like we were friends. Like, so it was just a weird situation. So just like moving forward, I was just always uneasy, and I just didn't really, like, I wasn't as close as I was prior to the whole incident. But I mean, I don't know why I didn't say anything. I just think it was odd, maybe.
You guys, like I said, for whatever reason, women don't say anything always, or don't say things always, for whatever reason. So you have to be aware of each other. If you're a lady and you have friends, your female friend, your girlfriend, your whatever, know them, you guys. Be alert about the people around you, friends or family, so that you can be there to figure out what's going on. That's important. That's just important. So anyway, you guys, we wanted to share that with you guys. Sorry about that. Don't let this be a thing where you're scared of everyone. Just be aware, be cautious, be alert. Literally watch these things. The channel, let me just show you guys this channel real quick. So on your spare time, you guys can actually watch this channel, and you guys can learn lessons and everything like that, about not just this. This is a YouTube channel that I watch, but this is called Active Self-Protection. This is a YouTube channel. You can go here and you can watch the video, subscribe. They have more videos, not just kidnapping. They have all kind of videos about self-defense, to, so you guys will be able to know. He shows videos of things that have actually happened, some crimes or various things. Some of these things are very, some things you may not want to see. Some of the things you definitely don't want your kids to see. But it is a situation where you can watch those things, and he teaches you lessons on self-defense. You guys, I encourage you guys to take time to check those type videos out and learn, watch and learn, so you guys can better yourselves and your families with that. And that's it, man. That's it. I don't want to hold you guys up. I appreciate you guys. We're going to pray with you real quick before you get off. So don't leave right now. Let's say a quick prayer. We want to say a prayer. The prayer request that I have, and mind you, first, let me say, if you guys have a prayer request that you want me to send up to God right now, just type the number 1 in the comment section. All right. Type number 1. That's going to serve as your prayer request. You don't have to type out your whole prayer request. Just type the number 1 and that'll be your prayer request. I have a prayer request, so I'm going to type the number 1. Do you have a prayer request?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my wife has one. I'll type a number 1 there too for you.
My prayer request is also for you to start calling me by my first name.
Adana. She hates when I call her my wife. Guys, I don't know. Adana Hackett.
It's just it's like so possessive, and
don't you say my husband? Don't you say my husband?
Do.
I don't care if you say my husband.
I do sometimes, but you say like my wife constantly, and then it almost like allows me to like lose my identity as Adana.
Oh my gosh, no.
Hackett. Like I'm not just your wife.
You're not.
Right. But it doesn't always feel like that.
I'm sorry. Adana Hackett. All right. Adana, my wife. No, Adana has a prayer request, so we'll drop that in there too. So we're going to set up those prayer requests. Also, you guys, this prayer request right here tonight, and I want to ask you guys to keep, this is a serious moment, keep victims of human trafficking in your prayers. As I mentioned earlier in this video, literally right now as I'm speaking, there's someone being kidnapped right now. As I'm speaking, someone right now is being sexually abused right now. Right now. While you're comfortable in your homes, these things are happening. So keep those people in these situations in your prayer. Pray for God's justice. Let's pray. Father, I'd just like to ask you, Lord, to please be with each person right now who may be experiencing some form of abuse or trafficking or kidnapping or anything like that. Lord, I pray that you just be with that situation. Allow your justice to prevail right now. Save their life. Stop people right now. The person who's getting raped right now, stop it. Lord, show your power. Someone's crying out for your help. They're screaming. They need your help. I ask in Jesus' name, stop it now in Jesus' name. Stop the child that's getting abducted. Stop the kidnapping. Stop the rape. Stop the abuse. Stop it all right now in Jesus' name. Save lives so that people, Father, can not only be safe and saved from that, Father, but the people, the aggressors, the criminals, that those people are taken and that they're put where they need to be. Lord, let your mercy fall upon whom you desire, and may your justice come upon, Father, whom you deem needs that justice. I pray in Jesus' name for your protection over all of them. I pray for your protection over my home, over my wife, over my children, over everyone who's watching and listening right now. I pray protection over their wife, over their spouse, over their children, over their whole family and their homes. I pray, God, that you be with the person watching right now who may have already experienced some form of abuse, sexual abuse, or anything like that. Lord, comfort them, because this is a heavy topic, a painful topic. And I ask in Jesus' name that you give them the courage that they need, if they have not already, to face whatever it is that they went through, and to speak and to say something and to do something. Lord, also, I pray that you protect my family, Lord, so that I don't have to go to jail for killing someone, Lord, or hurting someone. I don't want to have to go through that. And I'm being dead serious. So I pray, Father, in Jesus' name, that you just keep us safe. You're awesome. We love you. And we thank you, God, for everything that you have and done in our lives. In Jesus' name, I pray be with each person's prayer request. Let them, one, shoot up to God. And I pray, Father, that you address each prayer request in the way that they need help. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys, we're out of here. If you're joining us just now, we're stopping, but you can watch the rebroadcast of this. Man, y'all are great. If you agree with that prayer I just prayed, type amen in the comment section for me real quick. And we welcome you. This is Studio G, as y'all can see right there. Bam, Studio G. So I'm going to hop on here occasionally, you guys. Right now, there's no consistent rhythm. It may be every Friday night or it just may be random, but I hop on here in Studio G and we just talk about whatever it is there to talk about, you guys, whatever is on my heart at the time. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Jose, I appreciate you. Wendy, you've been great. Cuz, I appreciate you showing up. That's so random, man. I appreciate you, man. I love you, dude. I hope you are good. Auntie, I see you. I see you, Auntie. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all you guys. Adon, appreciate you guys.
Yes.
And shout out to the people who was watching us in other countries.
From other countries. Yeah,
we had someone watching from Jamaica,
Suriname, India.
India, yes. Woo! Praise God for you guys and all of you guys, of course, in different states. We out of here, man. We'll holler at y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace out. Be good, be blessed. Oh, and if any of you guys want that link that to the to any one of those things, just let me know. DM me and I'll shoot it to you. All right. We out. Peace.